Steve Adams, CEO. Steve Adams has been a corporate banker and entrepreneur for 35 years. Steve is currently the founder and CEO of a personalized medicine organization based in Seattle called Tiger Medical Institute. Tiger helps individuals recover and optimize their health by guiding them through a comprehensive medical transformation. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. So turn to the person next to you. Let's have a little bit of fun here and ask them, how old are you? I know, it's not an easy thing, but let's have fun with it. Okay, so let me ask you, raise of hands, were you surprised by any of the numbers? And if you weren't, if you were really surprised, I hope you faked it well. Yeah, right? So just, I turned 58 this year on my birthday, 58. And I asked my son how old he thought I was. And he deals in generalities, he has ADD and all that. And he guessed a number like 10 years older than I am. I'm like, are you kidding me? I own the medical institute. So anyway, this was fun, but it was a trick question because what I really want to ask you is, how old do you think you are? The answer hinges not on your chronological age. A more true and accurate number is your cellular age. And two people can be the same age, but be aging very differently at a cellular level. Now, here's the empowering thing I want to share with you is that you can influence your cellular aging, and you're going to do that by proactively becoming patient number one in your life. That's my big idea. So, one way we can measure our cellular age is to measure something called our telomeres. Our telomeres are the protective ends of our chromosomes, which allow for effective DNA replication and cellular division, okay? So it's like this shoelace here. Your chromosome is this thing, and the end of your shoelace, what does it have? It's a little protective plastic cap, right? And that keeps it from fraying. And like the cap on your shoelace, your telomere does something akin to that, and it protects the end of your chromosome, and that allows for good information exchange in the division process. Now, what happens is as we age, our telomeres tend to shorten. And as they shorten, that information exchange will deteriorate, and then you start seeing things like what I have up top, gray hair, wrinkles, maybe your muscles and joints don't work as well, and that is the aging process at work. But the good news is there's hope on this front. Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn from UC San Francisco won a Nobel Prize for her research on telomeres, and what she found was there are choices and habits we can build into our lives that will actually elongate our telomeres. Okay, there's real hope in that, right? You have the ability to influence your longevity. So, sadly, a lot of people are aging at a pace that they would not like if they knew the answer. And why is that? Well, it's our modern 21st century lifestyle. We're stressed. We're rushed all the time. We eat junk food and we don't move our bodies. Okay, I'm guilty of a lot of those things. Well, at least I used to be. And what happens then is that accelerates the aging process. Now, what you need to know is shorter telomeres are associated with bad health and morbidity. Longer telomeres are associated with good health and longevity. Now, you might want to know, why do I know about all this, right? Because I was a banker and a pet store owner. So the reason I know is it comes out of my story. I jumped right out of college into a high-octane, fast-paced, burn the candle at both ends, corporate banking career, getting my MBA at night. Can anybody relate? Maybe not MBA, but something else, right? And then I thought that wasn't enough, so I jumped into being an entrepreneur in my early 30s, and that just took it to another level. And the common theme was I was compromising my health for my goals. And the bill came due when I got to the magic number of 50. And at this point in my life, I had gone over 10 years sleeping 2 hours a night. I'd toss and turn all night long. I'd actually get stressed going to bed. I wasn't performing well. My partners were angry with me because I was insufferable to be around. My emotional control didn't exist. I wasn't showing up at home. My marriage was in serious trouble. And the other thing I remember was my 2 college-age kids were, one was about to graduate, one was like a sophomore. And I thought to myself, I don't know if I'm going to be around long enough to see them get married or have kids. And so I quit. I had a $100 million company, 1,000 employees almost, and I quit. And I went on this path, this quest to try to understand, how can I improve my health? How can I recover my health? Because all of my traditional doctors were just saying, you look fine. But that's not how I felt on the inside. And then I found this great doctor who thinks differently, was trained differently, operates differently, and he helped me find the truth about my medical situation. He gave me a plan that was customized to me. And then he took me on a process, a journey where he went alongside with me and helped me make change. Now, here's the cool part. Number 1, my marriage is fixed, so I'm thankful for that. Thank you. And I'm going to be a grandfather next year. Yep. And third, we did a test, and my cellular age was 22 years old. And I was 55 at the time. Yeah. And you know what? You guys can do this as well. This is how you do it. Number 1, you have to find 3 things, okay? Find the truth about your medical situation. You've got to have a qualified medical person to do that. Number 2, you've got to find a plan that is particular to your situation, not the averages. And number 3, you need to enter into a process that will support you so that you can make these changes in your life. And in this process, there are 4 habits rooted in the research on telomeres that suggest that if you do these, you'll get a good answer, okay, like I did. And that is, you got to optimize your sleep, which is complex. You got to optimize your nutrition. You got to learn how to do stress management. And number 4, you got to move your body every day, every day. Now, let's talk about you as dental professionals. What you do is really hard on your body. The ADA says 57% of you are burned out. 82% experience moderate to severe stress. Your patients are not wanting to be there because they're stressed. You're working in tight, dark spaces, and you're pressured for time. And oh, by the way, if you own the practice, on top of all of that, you have business stress, right? And so what's happening is what you do, by virtue of what you do, you're setting yourself up for premature aging, okay? And so I want to come back to this first question I had, and that is, how old do you think you are? That's the question. I don't want you to leave the ship on Monday without thinking about that. And if you do that, but I also want to suggest to you that based on the profession that you do, there's a real chance that you might be accelerating that aging process. Now, let me give you a story that's going to encourage you. Ernie's my friend. I have permission to share this. Same age as me when I was having troubles, showed up with a lot of the same problems, 40 pounds overweight, a lot of bad biomarkers, and he had this goal, though. His son was 16, and in a year, Ernie wanted to go on a hike with his son for his Eagle Scout rite of passage. Well, they live in Southern California. The hike is in the mountains, and it's 65 miles, and Ernie can't walk a mile. So Ernie got the truth, he got the plan, he worked the process. A year later, all of his biomarkers were turned around, and he lost 30 pounds. And here's the really cool thing. Ernie went on that hike with his son, and he led the hike. 65 miles in the San Gabriel Mountains for a guy who couldn't walk a mile the year before. So Ernie got this done by becoming patient number 1, all right? He did the things that you need to do, built the habits you need to build, and he created this emotional memory that he will never forget. His son will never forget for the rest of his life. And what I want to argue for you today, I want to implore you, is you can do the same thing. You can change your story about aging. You can change your health story, okay? You just have to be ready to change. And if you are, then the path for you is to become patient number 1. And if you let me speak again tomorrow, I'll tell you how to get more done on Monday than all of your competitors get done in a week. Thank you. Sure.
everyone in this room is interested in that story. I know I am.
Thank you.
So it was wonderful. I
Thank
like the
you.
way you opened it. I like the way you say you asked everybody how old you are. Nobody wants to tell anybody
Yeah,
that.
right.
Well, men, but women.
Not women. No.
But my wife will never tell you the truth on that one. Anyway, so and then you transitioned into the cellular age versus the actual age, which is cool. And you told us why it's important and what we should do to change, and your personal story added to that. And so you hit all the points. Then you went right into the conclusion about how this is so important to you, and that you all should be adhering to this and doing these things to change your life. I think it was a great story. I enjoyed it, and actually I've tried some of those things already. So I'm actually riding a bike.
Coach. Yeah.
I'm riding a bike now. So
Good.
you know, and I don't think I'm 22, but I'm getting close.
Well, I don't look 22, that's for sure. But yeah. We good?
Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.